Minions. Why are they everywhere? Welcome to FilmJail's special investigation into the most pervasive animated phenomenon of the 21st century, the Minions. Are they innocent, banana-loving sidekicks, or are they yellow-hued agents of cinematic chaos? Tonight, we present the case against Minions, exploring their alleged crimes of overexposure, screen time theft, and the baffling global conspiracy to shove them down our throats. Prepare for a critical, analytical, and perhaps a touch humorous examination of why these diminutive creatures have become inescapable, and whether their reign should finally come to an end. The accusation: overexposure and ubiquity. Merchandise saturation. The most blatant offense in the Minions' rap sheet is their relentless merchandising. With over 500 unique product items flooding the global market, from cereal boxes to Crocs, the yellow peril is inescapable. This isn't about consumer choice, it's a forced omnipresence that desensitizes the public and dilutes any charm the characters once possessed. Unsanctioned cameos. Beyond their own cinematic universe, Minions have infiltrated other Illumination properties, shamelessly stealing screen time from protagonists in films like Sing and The Secret Pets. Their presence, often irrelevant to the plot, feels less like a fun Easter egg and more like a brand mandate, a cynical attempt to cross-pollinate franchises and ensure maximum Minion visibility. This blatant disregard for narrative integrity is a serious charge. TikTok takeover. The rise of Gru trend. Perhaps the most egregious recent offense was the gentle Minions TikTok trend surrounding Minions, the rise of Gru. While seemingly harmless, this phenomenon transformed cinema spaces into chaotic mosh pits for teenagers in suits, disrupting the moviegoing experience for genuine film enthusiasts and further cementing Minions' status as a cultural nuisance rather than beloved characters. Evidence submitted. A growing cinematic universe. 14 spin-offs nobody asked for. While the exact number might be an exaggeration for dramatic effect, the sheer volume of Minion-centric content is alarming. From short films to video games, holiday specials to theme park rides, the constant churn of Minion-adjacent material suggests a studio more interested in quantity over quality, milking a concept dry long past its creative expiration date. Each new piece of content feels less like an artistic endeavor and more like a contractual obligation. The continuing saga. Despicable Me 4. The existence of Despicable Me 4 serves as irrefutable proof of the Minions' unyielding grip on the animation industry. After 3 main films and 2 Minion-centric prequels, the decision to continue the primary franchise suggests a reluctance to move on, to explore characters or concepts. It's a testament to the "if it ain't broke, don't fix it" mentality, even when it is starting to show significant cracks and banana-induced fatigue. This perpetuation of the franchise begs the question: are studios truly innovating, or are they simply playing it safe, relying on established, and profitable, intellectual property? The cycle of sequels, prequels, and spin-offs creates a cinematic echo chamber, preventing fresh voices and original ideas from gaining traction. The Minions, in this context, are not just characters. They are symptoms of a larger industry trend. The defense is single, desperate plea. But banana. The defense, in a moment of sheer desperation and perhaps a nod to the Minions' limited vocabulary, offers only one counterargument: banana. This singular, primal utterance is meant to encapsulate their appeal, their simplistic joy, their love for a yellow fruit, and their ostensibly innocent nature. It's an attempt to disarm the prosecution with cuteness and a reminder of their origin as lovable, if chaotic, comic relief. However, FilmJail maintains that a mere affinity for fruit does not absolve one of overexposure and creative stagnation. The banana might work on a toddler, but it holds little sway in the court of cinematic critique. We contend that the reliance on this single, recurring gag highlights the creative bankruptcy that has plagued the franchise. Is a single word enough to justify a global merchandise empire and endless cinematic output? We think not. The cultural impact, more than just cartoons. Brand oversaturation. The Minions' presence isn't confined to children's media, it seeps into adult spaces through ironic memes, corporate partnerships, and an inexplicable surge of adult merchandise. This phenomenon raises questions about the blurring lines between children's entertainment and broader consumer culture, and whether certain brands become so pervasive they transcend their original purpose, becoming a form of ubiquitous, often irritating, background noise. Shallow emotional resonance. While characters like Woody, Buzz, or even SpongeBob SquarePants offer complex emotions or relatables, the Minions primarily operate on slapstick humor and nonsensical gibberish. Their success suggests a market for entertainment that requires minimal emotional investment, potentially contributing to a trend of shallow engagement with media, where spectacle trumps substance. The Hollywood cash grab. Ultimately, the Minions represent the epitome of a Hollywood cash grab. Their continued proliferation is not driven by artistic vision or compelling storytelling, but by pure profit maximization. This cynical approach risks devaluing animation as an art form, reducing it to a conveyor belt for marketable characters rather than a medium for meaningful narratives.
The animation roast. Are they even good? Setting aside the commercial aspects, a critical examination of the Minions themselves reveals a certain flatness. While initially charming as comic relief, their one-note personalities and repetitive antics quickly wear thin. Lack of character development. Minions remain largely interchangeable, with no discernible individual arcs or growth. Their language is often cited as endearing, but it also limits genuine dialogue and character depth. The reliance on physical comedy can become predictable and uninspired over time, diminishing returns on humor. The initial novelty of their antics has long passed, yet the humor remains largely unchanged. The jokes often revolve around chaos and clumsiness, which, without fresh contexts, feel recycled. Compared to the clever writing and nuanced humor in other animated films, Minion humor feels decidedly lowbrow. This isn't to say slapstick can't be brilliant, but for characters who are front and center in multiple feature films, a bit more ingenuity is expected.
Overrated cartoons. A wider symptom, the Minions, while a primary target, are symptomatic of a broader issue within the animated film industry. The tendency to elevate commercially successful but creatively stagnant franchises to an overrated status. This often happens when franchise fatigue sets in, audiences grow tired of endless sequels and prequels that offer little new content or character development, yet studios continue to churn them out due to established fan bases and guaranteed box office returns. Merchandise drives production. The primary goal shifts from storytelling to creating marketable characters and situations that can be easily translated into toys, clothes, and other products, effectively turning films into extended advertisements. Critical acclaim is ignored. Despite lukewarm critical reception or declining audience scores, a franchise continues to thrive purely on brand recognition, further cementing the idea that quality is secondary to marketability. The Minions aren't alone in this category, but their sheer omnipresence makes them a prime example of this regrettable trend.
FilmJail's verdict: time for a ban. Minions, guilty as charged. For crimes of overexposure, screen time theft, and general cinematic annoyance, the Minions are hereby sentenced to an indefinite hiatus from all major media. While a literal ban is unlikely, FilmJail advocates for a significant reduction in Minion-related content. The market is oversaturated, the humor is stale, and the constant presence of these yellow creatures has become more grating than endearing. It's time for Illumination to innovate, to explore new characters and stories that challenge and delight, rather than endlessly recycling a diminishing asset. Our analysis concludes that the Minions, while perhaps born of good intentions, have become a symbol of Hollywood's commercial excesses. Their success, in many ways, is their greatest undoing, leading to an inescapable ubiquity that has transformed them from charming sidekicks into cinematic pests. Key takeaways: next steps, a call for creative renewal. Studios should prioritize original concepts and character development over relentless franchise expansion. The market, while seemingly insatiable for established IPs, ultimately benefits from fresh ideas and diverse storytelling. Mindful consumption. As consumers, we have a role to play. By supporting original animation and diverse narratives, we can signal to studios that quality and innovation are valued more than pervasive merchandising. The Minion aftermath. While the Minions may never truly disappear, understanding their pervasive nature helps us critically evaluate the media landscape and the forces that shape our viewing habits. Let us hope for a future where banana-fueled chaos is a rare treat, not a constant assault. Thank you for joining FilmJail on this critical expedition into the heart of Minion mayhem. Remember to watch responsibly.